Welcome to Metro Vancouver Close-Up, where we profile how municipalities are contributing to the region's sustainability. Coming up, we visit barn owls in Richmond, and they're thriving in the open spaces of Terra Nova Rural Park, which exists thanks to the city's boundaries on urban development. The park's long grasses create habitat for small mammals, and that means lunch for owls. Terra Nova Rural Park in Richmond is popular with gardeners and joggers during the day. But after dark, the night shift begins.
Terra Nova is actually a destination resort for barn owls. So we have a lot of new barn owls coming in, as well as the barn owls that are staying here. They've been living here for 100 or so years, and they really utilize the grass fields and the habitats that were created when the first settlers started performing agriculture.
Richmond's growing population brings changes to the barn owl habitat.
We're lucky that it is a species that actually has been able to learn to coexist with us, and as long as we're able to give it a little bit of green space, a place to live.
The Barn Owl Nest Box program was set up about 5 years ago in the city. The idea was just to offer barn owls an alternative nesting habitat. They naturally nest in holes in trees and also in old buildings.
With barn owls now breeding in the park, the City of Richmond is working with Environment Canada to monitor the owls.
Welcome to Terra Nova Park. Tonight you're in for a real treat. You're going to get a chance to get up close and personal with a family of barn owls.
I plug the hole with a towel that's got a rope wrapped around it. Then I go up and I take one down at a time. We put a little bag on their head just to kind of calm them down a bit because they're slightly surprised. Put a little band on it, a unique identifier, and then we carefully put them back up again, one by one. The banding is a way to keep track of the population.
Now we have 3 pairs breeding in the park, so it's definitely a success story, and we're looking to expand the program. It's really just trying to spark that initial interest in nature. A lot of people have no idea of the different wildlife and animals that live in their neighborhood. Terra Nova Park is a great place to engage people and teach them that the animals that live around them are amazing, cool, and should be protected.
When mud collects in stream beds, the habitat and food sources for fish and invertebrates are covered up. A new bylaw in Coquitlam is controlling drainage and soil runoff from construction sites. It's part of the region-wide goal to protect waterways.
It's a bucket that looks like a small coffee pot, I guess would be a good way to describe it.
There's no caffeine here, but it does help construction crews start their day. This internet-connected rain gauge shows exactly how much rain is falling each hour in northeast Coquitlam.
Once a certain amount of rain falls, there's different requirements that the developers, contractors, builders, environmental monitors have to follow. So the city took upon itself to install a rain gauge.
The allowable amount of silt in the runoff changes during different amounts of rain.
Without them knowing how much rain has fallen, they wouldn't know what they could discharge.
The rain gauge is especially useful in guiding crews during heavy rainfalls.
They might take it upon themselves to do a proactive weather shutdown. Driving on site can create a lot of sediment and erosion, so they might still work on site, but just not heavy hauling and trucks leaving the site.
Crews are also required to regularly measure and record their turbidity discharges.
Within 48 hours after the rain is ceased from being a significant rain event, we asked them to do another report to see how the site fared. It's sort of like a check.
It's part of the stream protection bylaw Coquitlam approved in fall 2013, which aims to provide for better accountability by developers and a broader range of enforcement tools for Coquitlam city staff. A federally operated gauge also provides daily Coquitlam rainfall data. But for the development in the upper and wetter areas of Burke Mountain, this real-time rain gauge is important. Industry standards such as mud mats, rock mulch, and barrier berms are outlined in a best management practices guide that developers can access online.
It's amazing just being that close to the mountain, and the different cloud patterns and systems up there can be very wet, but it's beautiful.
Electric vehicles deliver powerful performance, a smooth ride, and they're fun to drive. That's what the Emotive campaign is all about. And Surrey is one of the partners helping share that news, with presentations at car shows and events all through the region. At the Vancouver Jazz Fest, electric cars are causing a buzz at the Emotive tent.
The purpose of Emotive and the campaign is to bring the excitement around electric vehicles to them. And we're launching at the Jazz Fest, so today is our launch, and we have a couple of cars here, the Leaf and the i3.
The goal of the Emotive program is to show the public how much fun electric vehicles are, as well as their practical benefits.
The electric car is fun because it's an electric engine. You know, as soon as you accelerate, the car takes off.
It's constant linear acceleration.
So Emotive is all about raising awareness of electric vehicles. They're great new technology to get people here to there in a sustainable way in Metro Vancouver. By checking out Facebook and the website, they're going to learn a little more about what makes electric vehicles a really great choice for Vancouverites. That includes how fun they are to drive, how they're a good sustainable choice in terms of lowering emissions and smart energy use. They're going to learn about how quiet they are and great performance as well.
The City of Surrey is one of the key partners in the Emotive campaign, and they have shown a commitment to EVs in several other ways as well.
We've just recently completed our Community Energy and Emissions Plan, which is just rolling out, and we're going to be implementing over the next number of years. And within Surrey, we've recently installed 15 charging stations throughout the city, including a number at the new City Hall area as well.
As the public's knowledge of EVs deepens and the technology becomes more accepted, they're becoming a viable option to replace gasoline-powered vehicles.
People are excited about the feel and the experience of driving electric cars, and that's what gets people interested in the cars themselves. Yeah, people seem to be pretty keen to find out more.
The Burns Bog Ecological Conservancy area has two caretakers, the Corporation of Delta and Metro Vancouver. 2014 marks 10 years that they've been protecting the bog, including monitoring water flows around its edges.
If we look at this bog, it is 5,000 years plus, and over that period of time, 8 meters of peat have been laid down in some areas of the bog. Without the water here, we wouldn't have the bog.
What we're trying to do is figure out which direction the water is flowing, and we are trying to get a really good idea of how much water is coming in and how much water is going out.
Mineralized water, which would flow from outside of the bog towards the bog, is detrimental to the bog, and it's really important that there is no influx of mineralized water.
Dams are being built to help block and slow any seepage into the bog. It's important to protect the bog's sphagnum mosses because they hold 30 times their weight in water and form what's known as a carbon sink.
If you take that moss out and let it burn or decompose, that carbon goes up into the atmosphere and contributes to the greenhouse effect. And so if we keep bogs and protect them, then we're keeping that carbon in the ground and combating global warming.
In 2012, an international treaty designated Burns Bog as a wetland of international importance.
Burns Bog is globally unique. It's unique on the basis of its form, its chemistry, the types of plants that grow here, and its very large size.
See more examples of sustainability across our region at metrovancouvervideos.org. For Metro Vancouver Close-Up, I'm Dagmar Timmer. See you soon.